I think San Francisco's going to need to be shopping at the end of this year.
You think so?
Yep.
Even with Jimmy Garoppolo there?
Jimmy Garoppolo's had a great year last year, but he hasn't really replicated that this year at all. And there were a lot of times last year where his running game was able to carry him through the latter part of the season. He never really threw a lot during the games, and now he's throwing a lot, and he's throwing a lot more picks.
He would love. I think Sam would love to go to San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
He would.
I think he'd be good there.
I think he would love to go to San Francisco, but San Francisco's going to have to open up their pockets, and what I mean by that, they're going to have to give up a significant type of draft stock to get him, and I don't know if San Francisco is going to do that. I think they're
going to have to get rid of more of their receivers right now because they're paying so much to Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
They're paying a lot to Eric Armstead. I mean, they got rid of Buckner, but, I mean, still, they have a lot of stuff open up, and they need to start closing it down a little bit.
That was a very weird move.
I feel bad for Nick Bosa, actually. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do, because Nick Bosa might never be the same player again, coming back from that kind of injury, and being that
he will.
He's a shock put coming off the edge. I know you love Nick, but Nick, coming off an ACL injury of that magnitude, it does affect pass rushers. We've seen pass rushers come back. You're not as explosive at the edge. So I think if anybody could do it, it's Nick, because he's so athletically gifted. But definitely as a fan, and I like Nick. I'm a fan of Nick Bosa. My girlfriend's in love with him, so they're absolutely in love with him. I mean, who isn't? I mean, every single woman's in love with this guy. But he's an athletic beast. But him and his brother, they just can't stay on the field. That's a huge problem for them. So you're right. Sam Darnold would fit perfectly with San Francisco, but is San Francisco willing to give up a first and a third for him? That's going to be the question.
Before you get to your next question, I want to ask you this, because him and I argue about him all the time. Where do you stand on Kyle Shanahan, and do you blame him for the Super Bowl loss?
Stinks. He stinks.
I think he's a fantastic coach, one of the best in the league. I just think he made a blunder, and every coach is going to make a blunder, but I think his was more high profile because it was in a high-profile game, and it was at a high-profile moment, and I think he still has a lot of offensive genius. They wouldn't have got the Super Bowl without him. I mean, the kind of stuff he was dialing up throughout the playoffs and the regular season was one of a kind. The rest of the NFL is copying that right now by trying to hire out his assistants. So I think he's still one of the best young minds in football, along with Sean McVay.
So, he made another blunder in Super Bowl. What was the Super Bowl?
51.
51 with the Atlanta Falcons.
Which I don't blame him for. He does.
Absolutely does.
So.
Why did he stop running the ball? And even with the San Francisco 49ers, Kansas City, they were up by almost 10 points. They were up 10 points with, 6 minutes left of the Super Bowl? They were going to win the game. And for some reason, again, he stops running the ball. You have a three-headed monster. You had the #1 rushing offense in the league last year, and all of a sudden, you stop running the ball. It makes absolutely no sense. Kyle Shanahan, he's a great regular season head coach. When it comes to the big game, the guy's a choke artist. I do not think he's a good head coach. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry, but I don't think he's a good. I think San Francisco's got a lot of talent. They got a tremendous amount of talent. And I still think when they get healthy next year, they're going to be one of those teams that you're a favorite to come out of the division and win a Super Bowl. I just don't like Kyle Shanahan. I never did. I just don't think he's a good coach. Next question.
My last one's another Jets question. What's up with Le'Veon Bell?
What's up with Le'Veon Bell? Well,
how does he bounce back from this, or is he done?
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see Le'Veon Bell go to San Francisco. I think he would fit very, very well in that offense.
Can they afford him though? Because
they can't afford him.
I know they can't afford him, but I would love to see Le'Veon Bell in that offense, especially Kyle Shanahan likes to run the ball. It's going to be a good question. I don't know where he's going to go. I mean, I've been hearing stories. Some people were saying the Patriots. Some people said the Chicago Bears.
I think Tampa could be another one.
Tampa, Miami. Mm-hmm. I heard Miami Dolphins, another team. I think he's going to go to a team that's a playoff contender. I could see Chicago. I could see Chicago. I think he'd fit very well with Chicago, especially in that offense with the coach over there. He comes from Andy Reid's type of offense, and what does Andy like to do first? He likes to run the ball, and they don't really have a good running back. Right. And with Nick Foles over there, and he's not a guy that likes to move inside and out of the pocket. They like to run the ball. He's the type of guy. The Jets misused him. You know that. I know that. The Jets misused him, and Adam Gase, the so-called offensive guru / quarterback guru, go ask Ryan Tannehill if he's a guru. Ryan Tannehill goes over there to Tennessee and flourishes over there. He scores 41 points against arguably one of the best defenses in all of football yesterday. And Ryan Tannehill's becoming a star right now in the league, right in front of our eyes. And Sam Darnold can't stay on the field, and when he does stay on the field, he can't do anything because nobody can create separation. That has to do with coaching. So where do I think Le'Veon Bell is? What's up with Le'Veon Bell? Le'Veon Bell didn't want to be there. Jamal Adams don't want to be there. Who would want to be there when Adam Gase is coaching that team? I mean, you would want. I think I would be a better coach. I think people would listen to me when they don't even know who the hell I am. And I think they listen to me just because I'm crazy and I'm just appalling and I'm a comedian. So they're probably just laugh and go out there. Okay, coach, we'll do whatever they tell you. Go run the gaps. Go close the gaps. Whatever. Do whatever. I don't know. I think right now Le'Veon Bell wants to go to a team that's a playoff contender. I could also see Pittsburgh again. That's what I was just
going to say. I think Pittsburgh has a shot to pick him back up and get over that whole separation.
I agree, too. I think Pittsburgh's another team. He grew up a Pittsburgh fan. Well, he grew up a Jet fan, supposedly. Quote, unquote, because he was a Curtis Martin fan. He grew up a Jet fan, but he also, his family loved Pittsburgh, and obviously he was drafted in the second round by Pittsburgh.
You don't think he's still bitter with their front office, though?
No. Money talks, buddy. Money talks and championships talk. And if he has the best chance of winning a championship with Pittsburgh, he'll go to Pittsburgh. He's got the choice. That's the great thing about Le'Veon Bell. The Jets gave him the option to go wherever he wants, which, I mean, a lot of people are upset. A lot of Jet fans are upset because why couldn't we wait until 3 weeks? Like Jeff called the show and he said, they should have waited and they still probably would have gotten a 6th or 5th round. They weren't going to get crap for him. They weren't. Nobody was going to pay him because everybody knew he was going to be moved. And if he wasn't going to get moved for a certain amount of time, they were going to release him. And that's what happened. They didn't even give it 3 weeks. They just released it. And he'll be on a team by the end of the week. Don't be surprised if it's Pittsburgh, Chicago. Who's the other
Tampa.
team? Tampa. No, Tampa got Leonard Fournette. So
I can still see it, though.
Last week, though.
I'm sorry?
He didn't get any carries last week, I don't think.
No, he got hurt.
No, Ronald Jones has been more the featured guy there.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette is hurt right now. Why are we not surprised? But Leonard Fournette can't stay on the field. But Leonard Fournette, I don't think they're going to bring Le'Veon Bell. I could see Miami. I could. Mm-hmm. Also,
Gaskin's doing really well there, though.
Yep. How about Buffalo? How about Buffalo over there? I mean, they got Singletary, but Le'Veon Bell could be used as another wide receiver. Mm-hmm. So
right.
I could see Buffalo. He's going to go to a team that is a playoff contender. He wants to play in the playoffs. He wants to compete. And that's Le'Veon Bell. Jamal Adams, too. Maybe he'll go to Seattle and they can bicker and fight with each other over there. I mean, that would be funny. I mean, he had a lot to say to Jamal Adams when Jamal Adams kind of pushed himself out of New York. And then all of a sudden he did the same thing. So
that would be quite a revenge game if both of them were there whenever the Jets and Seahawks play.
Could you imagine that? I could see that happening. I could see him going to Seattle, too. But I don't know, man. Any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Oh, man, you are great. And I definitely want to get you back on the show, Mr. 4.8. How fast you run the 40, by the way?
4.81.
Really? How tall and how heavy are you?
6'5", 255.
Wow. Pretty good, man. Did you ever think about playing linebacker than defensive end?
Not fast enough.
Really? Well, maybe you'll get faster. You know, when you play college football, you're still... Dude, you haven't even fit into your body yet. You're 17 years old, right?
Yeah.
You're a baby, man. There are guys that go up 0.2, 0.3 in college. We've seen it. So who's to say that you can't? I definitely think that you could. If you're as smart as you are, you'll find a way to mentally and physically figure out the scientific way to move faster. Are you a good science major? No, you're not good at science. I'm not good at science either. So man, we got a lot in common. Are you good at math?
Nah, kind of.
I hate math, too. So you see this? See, I found somebody. I interviewed a baseball coach a couple of months, what was it, 7-8 months ago?
Jerry Oaks.
Jerry Oaks. And I'm sitting there, and who's he coach? Pittsburgh.
Pitt, yep.
Pitt, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm having a conversation with him. I said, so when's your birthday, man? And he says, April. I said, April what? He says, it's at the end of the month. I said, don't tell me you're April 29th. And he says, how did you know? He was born April 29th, 1982, and he was born an hour after I was. Figure that one out.
And you guys both went to the same baseball game.
We went to the same Yankees baseball game. He grew up a Yankee fan. It's so crazy. It was crazy. It is crazy. He actually called his mother at the end of the game and says, "You cannot believe who interviewed me." And we're same birthday. He was born an hour before I was, and we were at the same baseball game at the same time, almost in the same exact spot at the game at Yankee Stadium.
Crazy.
It's really crazy. It's Twilight Zone crazy. But
it is.
Tell the fans how they can find you on social media, my friend.
At Buckey on Instagram and at Bucky Zach on Twitter.
I'd like to give a shout out to your girlfriend Alexia, right? Alexia, that's her name? Say, I'm good. I can remember their names. I can remember a woman's name. I can't remember anybody else's name. Well, that's not. I don't want anybody to get angry over there that's watching the show. But I remember a woman's name. I can't remember a guy's name. I don't understand it, but I don't know. Anyways, I would love to get you on the show when the season starts for Stanford. I would like to see where you're at, how you feel, how the team is. And we want you to be a friend of the show, a fan of the show. Are you following us on social media?
I am.
Okay, man.
Always follow back.
Did you download our app?
I'm not sure. I will after this, though, for sure.
Well, do you have iOS or do you have Android?
iOS.
iOS, man. WWSRN. It's WWSRN. I want you to follow us because Devin is following us. He actually sends me a bunch of messages thinking that I'm out of my mind. So he tells me all the time. It's funny because all you guys, we've interviewed so many recruits. All of them think that I'm crazy. And I am a little crazy and outlandish. And when you hang out with me, I'm not the drinking type. But some people think I'm drunk when we go to parties because I am the life of the party and I'm the crazy SOB. I do a lot of crazy things. So I am not afraid to do anything. So that's for damn sure. This guy over here, he likes to dance. Even though he can't dance, he dances. He's like a rockette. He does these high kicks. It's crazy. So offbeat, too. You got to put him on house music. You like house music?
It's okay.
What kind of music do you like?
Rap.
What kind of hip-hop? Do not tell me. Do not tell me Little Baby.
You mean Dub Baby?
Dub Baby. I'm sorry. Dub Baby. You like Dub Baby?
I like the Baby, yeah.
Figured you do. I mean, who else do you like besides Dub Baby?
Polo G.
Okay.
I like Jay-Z and Kanye are both like classics. They're good. But I also love Frank Sinatra, though, so that's kind of...
All right, I like Frank. I like Frank. All right. Dad taught you well with some style of music. All right. Stanford grad. This guy's going to be a Stanford grad. His father was a Stanford grad and future NFL player. I'm going to be rooting for you. And if you do go to the NFL at the draft party, we are invited to your draft party. Is that a deal? I'm telling you, man, you do not. I'll be jumping different draft parties because a lot of guys invite me. I will tell you this: there is nothing like me going to a draft party. I've been to a bunch of draft parties for the NHL, NBA, and the NFL. I go, you guys will have, you'll probably throw up. I am a crazy SOB, and I like to have fun with people, so I like to play games. So, anyways, thank you for joining us, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and we're looking to get you on again.
Awesome. Sounds great.